Dr. Shiva first.
I have been just line over that line there, way down the fucking bottom. Can you see it?
Toby's, can you tell Walter, sorry, where he could stand?
What I'm talking about is this fucking shit noise here. I haven't had no vaccination. I wouldn't let them pick my nose. I wouldn't let them take blood when I was injured. Now I get kicked out of
Testing,
the
testing.
Shut up and get the fuck out.
Is that okay volume, my friend?
There's nobody else.
We're live?
All right.
All my
Facebook friends and everybody in this beautiful park today. It's Jason Cosmic Truth Authority with, of course, thank you everybody for sharing your loyalty again, being loyal to humanity and celebrating humanity today. I'm with my friend Walter, and we got Tommy filming me and other people. Thank you everybody, and talk amongst yourselves. Enjoy this beautiful day in Canada again. Are we here for truth, freedom, and health?
Yeah!
And we are winning in a lot of ways, my friends. You know, I want to talk about vaccines, but before I do, everybody, I want to thank you again for showing your stellar, stupendous public dedication in the fight for truth, freedom, and health. And I'm trying to inspire more Canadians, all of us, my friends, to have a bottoms-up revolutionary movement in Canada this year, because we can do it. And for example, everybody, we only need 10% of the population to discuss the Canadian Bill of Rights. But today, through Dr. Shiva's research primarily, everybody, I want to discuss vaccines, if I moment, particularly Pfizer, the vaccine company of COVID-19. And then, of course, a lot of people want to start the march. I understand that. Now, a question for you, everybody. Is my angle okay, Tommy? Are we doing good? Thank you. I want to ask you guys a question. Is Big Pharma, are they making money or losing money in the last 30 years?
They've been making money.
Right? You think they're making tons of money, this trillion-dollar empire. The reality is, Dr. Shiva is the only one to really show you, my friends. We're going to follow the money today. Big Pharma, the drug industry, are burning and crashing. That's right. They're tanking. And we're going to get into why in a moment, my friends. And you're going to see that they need a new model. And that model is the jabs, vaccines. It's the only way Big Pharma can survive, okay? I'm going to give you an example. May I give you an example? Okay. And thank you so much for being here again today, everybody. I said in one of the last speeches, thank you, Walter, for showing Dr. Shiva. Pfizer in 2011, the revenue was $65 billion.
Just gonna put my bullhorn on my shoulder here, my friends. Whoops.
Sorry. So again, the revenue was $65 billion, but today, 2020, Pfizer dropped to $41 billion. So they lost $25 billion, almost 40% of the revenue, right? And Dr. Shiva has 7 companies, my friends. He invented the email system at 14 years old. PhD, right, from MIT, 4 degrees. He's right next door to the United States. He's trying to start a bottoms-up movement, my friends. And he's the only one to show you that Pfizer, they needed a cash infusion. It's all about their stock market, right? And I said in one of my speeches, but I think it's worth repeating, that's why they went to Israel. And the president of Israel, unfortunately, he sold out his people to Pfizer, just like in Ontario. We're going to get to that. And they got 60 to 70% jab. Can you imagine? I just want to show a picture of Pfizer for a moment, my friends.
Oh, hold on. It's somewhere.
If anybody sees the photo of Pfizer, I got it here somewhere. Anyway, so my friends, they needed a cash infusion. And Israel, the president, again, he's the marketing partner for Pfizer. Okay? And we can only imagine, again, the insidious community pressure and the threats those Israelis went through to get jabbed. Now, Dr. Shiva shows you, everyone. I hope you find this part interesting, too. Sure, they would love to get 60 to 70% jabbed with this experimental gene therapy. We're going to get into that in a moment. But they're going to settle for 30%. And you know why? It's very simple math, he says. 30% of 7.1 billion people is about 2 billion people, right? The 2 shots, at least in the United States, I'll find out in Canada what their retail value is, $40. It goes through the middleman, and Big Pharma takes $20. I've been telling my friends, it's $20 times 30% times 2 billion gets you to 40 billion, because they told their stock market, Pfizer, AstraZeneca, Johnson & Johnson, Moderna. Are you listening? Are you feeling good, everybody?
Yeah.
How you doing, Walter, back there? Awesome. They told their stock market, we got to make $40 billion this year. That's how they get to 40 billion. They're on pace to make about 46, 47 billion. Now, Pfizer, my understanding, they were going broke, for example. Remember the drug companies I told you they're burning and crashing? Pfizer, they're actually keeping CNN open. You know, CIA, CNN. They're paying for CNN. They bought a new building right across the street from CNN. Now, Dr. Shiva doesn't tell you that, but a hardcore researcher shows you. So why are the drug companies, why are they failing and burning? Why do they need vaccines? Well, Dr. Shiva again shows you, everybody, he dealt with Big Pharma. One of his companies is called Litasol. I have his company here. Somewhere. Oh, here it is. One of his amazing innovations is called Cytosol, my friends. And I want more Canadians to come on over to VA Shiva /join. We got a Canada group on there and other Canada groups as well. Again, everybody, Cytosol, he was trying to help out Big Pharma. That company, for example, he tells you, you can skip animal testing. You won't have to test on animals theoretically, okay? Because it maps out viruses on a computer. It's amazing. And they can detect, Big Pharma, they can detect toxicity up front. But Big Pharma tells you they moved quarter to quarter, and in the end, they weren't interested. But Pfizer's innovation company, they did come to Dr. Shiva. Did you know that? They did. But Pfizer's innovation team, and they know that drugs cause a lot of side effects, and nurses will tell you, right? And they kill people at times. But the Pfizer innovation team, they backed out, unfortunately. They just disappeared. I'm just trying to show you, everybody. Dr. Shiva shows you the process. You know, you start in vitro in the labs, right? There's about, again, you'll learn this from Dr. Shiva. Thank you for showing the photo of his company, my friend. You don't have to keep showing it. Thank you. You're awesome. So, what was I going to say? They start in vitro in the labs. It takes 13 years to go through the drug process, okay? So, you know, you got stage 1, stage 2, right? But just to get to stage 1, it costs between $1 and $5 billion. And again, these are all facts, my friends. We don't have to speculate. I've got a chart here somewhere. Can you do me a favor and show this in a minute? I'll explain that in a few minutes. So, hey, watch the camera shot, my friends. Thank you, buddy. Thank you. Again, it costs between $1 and $5 billion just to get to phase 1. It takes 13 years to go through the drug process. You got 20 years on the patent, right? So they only got 7 years to recoup their investment, right? And when you get to phase 1, it's really all about the stock. The stock market goes up. Hi, Rob. So it's all about the stock market. And that's what I'm trying to teach other people. I have a family member, I take this personal, like a lot of you out there probably do too, that got jabbed, okay, from Moderna. And I have 2 family members that are nurses that are not brainwashed, okay? Let's try to, as I said in the last video, let's try to educate them. And we don't have to talk about depopulation. It's interesting. It could be an agenda for some of the scumbags out there, the financial global predators. But let's keep it practical, I believe, as Dr. Shiva says. Follow the money. It's all about their stock market. Pfizer's CEO. I mean, Pfizer's going to be here till 2024. But little do they know, we're going to expose them big time. We're going to crush them. And I want our Canadian amazing armed forces that I'm going to talk about more, our Canadian military. Believe me, Canadian military at times have been put on pressure, I'm sure, to get jabbed. You think they're going for it? No way. They know about a PSYOP. They know it's an experimental gene therapy. They know the vaccine companies. We all know you can't sue a vaccine company, right? And so let's give credit to the military, because in Kentucky, for example, right there in the United States a few months ago, a military guy tells you that generals were trying to con them to get jabbed. And many of them, to their credit, they said, forget it, we're gonna quit. And that's what needs to be happen, right? Non-compliance. And Chris Sky says non-compliance, right? But it's marketing. I won't talk about it too much and say too many bad things, but it is a marketing campaign when you say, what's the campaign? What's it called? Just say no, right? But let's have some real profound information on the drug companies and big pharma and the vaccine companies, right? When you can't sue a vaccine company, as I've always said, I hope you agree, everybody, it's such a fundamental violation of human decency, you don't even have to articulate it, am I right?
Yeah, no liability.
No liability, thank you. Can somebody pass me my orange water? Oh, thank you, here we go. 1 sec, I just need a sip of water if I may. Thank you so much for listening so far.
Yeah.
I'm sorry about the pauses and a little unorganized. Walter's just standing there like the amazing masculine man statue that he is with a beautiful smile. Woo! Fighting for truth, health, and freedom. All of you, my friends, this is why we're winning, and we're going to win. Don't think we're not winning, everybody. And we're going to do future speeches on the law of the land. Canadian Bill of Rights, by getting sidetracked. So, Pfizer, my friends, we're going to expose them a lot this year. And we're going to educate people, right, that are thinking about getting jabbed or thinking about getting a second shot, for example, right? We're going to educate them. We know the truth. It's all propaganda. Dr. Shiva and many people talk about it too, right? They've tried every which way because they're trying to get at least 30 to 40% jabbed in Canada, right? Now, did you hear CP24? They claim, 78% are jabbed, vaccinated in Ontario. Do you believe that?
No.
You think that's an accurate statistic? No, not even
way.
close. Not even close, which is the good news. But yes, there's a lot of pop-up vaccine centers. Dr. Shiva won't know this in Canada, but I will be telling him, and then he'll know. John Tory apparently just came out on a video. They always come out with the propaganda, the mantra. We're going to get pop-up centers, and, some people will get jabbed. They'll go to get vaccinated, but we're going to come to you, right?
Boo!
Yes, boo! So this is what we're experiencing, right? The government's elements of them, they're trying to put every insidious community pressure that they can at times, bullying tactics, right? Con jobs. But we can know the real science. I'm not a doctor. Many of you are not necessarily doctors. We don't have to be. And a lot of MDs, unfortunately, we know, some of them are good, but a lot of them are bought and paid for, right? And they grow up in the big pharma system. Freedom! Dr. Shiva, my friends! I swear to God, if you listen to this man, like a lot of you, he's full of nobility, intellectual integrity, and honesty, and he's in a historic lawsuit right now. I told you guys before, right? And the mainstream media won't cover it. And if you want to support his lawsuit, go to winbackfreedom.com. He just wants even $1. Walter gave me $5. Did you see it on stage, everybody? I put it in my pocket. If Dr. Shiva finds out, he's going to be mad because I owe him $5. I'm going to get it to him and his team, believe me. But no, really, everybody, I've never met hardly anyone that has his intensity when it comes to fighting for truth, freedom, and health. He's put his ass on the line. I come out here and I try to put my ass on the line in a good way, but it's not all about me. It's about all of you, my friends, and we just need 30%. Right? They say that for any movement to change society and gain traction, you only need 30%. I would argue it's even less than that. Right? And we got revolutions going on in Cuba, right?
Yes.
They're fighting for their human rights, doing amazing, right? Fighting for their precious children like we are and their families. We got a revolution in Paris just about, right?
Yes.
What are we doing?
And in Canada, we can do very similar, I believe, my friends.
Yes.
We're
Yes.
going to use the Canadian Bill of Rights. We're going to discuss, we're going to discuss the real truth.
We are putting on a mask and say everything is okay. That's what we're doing.
Exactly. Well,
Everyone.
and again, everybody, we're going to discuss
I see it
Big
everywhere.
Pharma.
We're putting on a
The
mask.
CEO of Pfizer, did you know, my friends? just to go back to the vaccine companies for a moment. Pfizer CEO got $25 million last year as a bonus. Dr. Shiva, you'll learn from him. This year, though, that was in a bad year, by the way, right? This year, the CEO of Pfizer, where is that picture of Pfizer? I swear I got it, I want to show it. It's just it's Pfizer company, where is it? I'm unorganized, I'm trying, my friends. Oh, it's somewhere here. Anyone else somewhere, please, my friend? Thank you. Pfizer CEO is going to make $50 million this year, my friends, as a bonus. Right? So, I've asked people before, and you guys know, thank you so much for understanding and wanting to be educated on the vaccine companies and the real truth. Do you want a small group of degenerate scumbags out there, some of them, to control your bloodstream in your house?
No!
Are you sure?
Yes!
You want to control your anatomy, your personal sovereignty, correct?
Yes!
You want to have a choice whether you're going to get vaccinated, right?
Yes!
And they just use the word vaccine to push it through public health and experimental gene therapy. We know this, right?
Use your words.
Thank you. It's an injectable, not even a vaccine. Exactly. And my friends, again, I'm not a doctor. We have amazing nurses out there too. Never forget that, right? Some nurses, like doctors, are brainwashed, but many nurses are speaking the power of the truth. And they're going through absolute medical tyranny, a lot of them, we know, right? They're threatened, they're losing their jobs if they speak out. And let's continue to encourage nurses and doctors to come out and just tell the truth. Again, Dr. Shiva's laying his ass on the line, man. Mainstream media won't even cover him. Tucker Carlson was supposed to interview him on Fox News. But Tucker Carlson backed out because he just watches where the wind blows. He's an entertainer, as Dr. Shiva tells you, right? But Dr. Shiva, my friends, he's a biological engineer. He's one of the experts in the immune system, okay? And also, we can use reason, logic, common sense. What we're doing today, does this strengthen the immune system?
Yes!
Vitamin D, right? Yes, I love that
Yes.
pose that you just did. Turn the camera on that woman. Oh, no, it's fine. Okay, sorry. But really, everybody, it's exercise, it's good nutrition. I stress, good nutrition, right? Right.
Yes!
And everybody, I hope you find this fascinating. Dr. Shiva shows you, everybody, between 1900 and 1950, when we had almost a revolution right in the United States. Very similar in Canada. The women in shirt factories, they were fed up. And you had slave labor, hideous work conditions. You know what they did? They marched the streets. And the men joined them eventually, and it was almost a revolution it started in the late 1800s, okay? Dr. Shiva has studied revolutions, and a lot of you probably have, right? Well, 98% of diseases disappeared between 1900 and 1950. Do you know why? Because of this is why I'm trying to help us start a bottoms-up movement, all of us together, my friends. The elites, some of the global financial predators, they had to give in to concessions. They were scared, right? They're always scared of a bottoms-up movement. We have the power, my friends.
Yes!
Right?
Yes!
And unfortunately, there's a real cycle of disrespect between our intellectually bankrupt government, a lot of them, and the public. Never forget your power, my friends, and that's why you're here today, am I right?
Yes!
Thank you. And again, oh, I must have lost it. Okay, thank you very much. So, again, everybody, it all comes back. Let's reestablish our power. Let's reconstitute our sovereignty. And again, thank you for making the choice that probably a lot of you are not going to get jabbed. You understand you can't sue the vaccine companies. You understand what strengthens the immune system. Again, Dr. Shiva is one of the leading authorities. He did a prestigious lecture, for example, I think it was at the International Science of Medicine, something like that. Anyway, and here's something very important. Are you listening carefully? Thank you. In 2003, they discovered a new science, and they call it precision personalized medicine, right? And it's the future of medicine. Dr. Shiva shows you. And he's an engineer and amazing innovator, as I told you too, right? What is precision personalized medicine? It's very simple, everybody. really, when it comes down to it, it shows you that for every drug, it reacts differently to different people at different times, correct?
Yes.
Right? Nurses should know this too. But they want a top-down model when it comes to vaccines, like COVID-19. Am I correct?
Yes.
It's a top-down model, as if anybody's going to react to the same experimental injection. So let's educate people, if we can, try to tell them of things like that. Okay? And then they'll start thinking, right? And I want to thank you all again for liberating yourselves, as I've said before, from the absolute indoctrination, brainwashing, and mind control, because that's all it is. Thank you, Tyler, for being here as always. Thank you for recording me one other time.
Kyle, get your
Kyle!
straight, fucker.
Sorry, Kyle, I appreciate it.
Christ.
Kyle's mad at me. Kyle, you're awesome. Thank you, everybody, for fighting again for truth, freedom, and health.
Yes.
Freedom!
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 Accusing the vaccinated of spreading the Delta
Yes,
virus.
thank you for that. That's just on mainstream media, my friends. We're going to end the mass psyop. This is the good news. Again, thank you also for showing your beautiful faces. You can learn also from Dr. Sheev and many, many others on the science of mass. I hand his cards out, right? He's got cards on vaccines as well. Again, everybody, in Israel, remember I told you, they got about 60-70% jab, but they're never going to do that in Canada, okay? And we got some people walking through the parks. I hope they have a great day. Some of them are wearing masks. And I wish they would listen and join our marches, right?
That's right.
Thank you, everybody, for coming out to these amazing protests and rallies. And I showed up late personally on the International Freedom Rally. I didn't get a chance to speak. But I'm honored to do it. I'm privileged. Some people think perhaps that it's all about me. No, it's not. Again, my friends, I am proud to be Canadian. And I know you guys a lot are too, right?
Yes.
And I got a gift coming for you, my friends. It's going to be something to do with Canada insignia. Because a lot of people are not wearing it, particularly some of our truth freedom speakers, if you notice. All right, but I'm sidetracking here. So again, everybody, we know the risks of this experimental gene therapy. All right? Do you have any questions for me today, may I ask, my friend?
Not right now?
It's all good.
Let's talk about them blaming the unvaccinated for giving them the Delta variant.
Yes. And the Delta variant, my friends, it's a scam, right? And even if it variants were real, it's not going to be deadly. Like my friend said, and many people have said it, they've never isolated or purified this virus, so right on its face, it's pure propaganda, right? Yeah. If it's real, it's just a mutation of the flu. Let's do a better job looking after the vulnerable, the sick.
Yes.
We know this, right?
Yes.
And thank you, everybody, again. I'm going to wind it up. Oh, thank you. My friends, thank you for not compromising your health integrity. Sincerely. Yes, ma'am.
And that just for the results out of Israel and the UK showed that the so-called Delta virus variant is highly infectious, but it's not lethal. Nobody's dying. So there's no problem. We don't need any boosters or any other bullshit that we never needed in the first place. But I have to tell you something that happened to me today. I went to the hairdresser to get my hair dyed and I wasn't wearing a mask.
Beautiful.
And which she allows me to do. But a lady there, a customer, saw me without a mask and she asked if I was vaccinated. And I said, and she said she was double vaccinated. And I said, I'm never going to get vaccinated. She said, oh, you're not vaccinated and you're not wearing a mask. Get out! Get out! I'm calling the police.
Boo.
That's what happened this morning at the hairdresser.
Thank you for sharing that story. Premier Doug Ford.
Boo.
Now, Doug Ford, of course, and John Tory and Justin Trudeau Are they telling us any of the real science behind this experimental gene therapy or injection?
No way.
Do they ever? Does the government, as Dr. Shiva tells you, right? The government never talks how you boost your immune system. Am I right?
Right.
It's what you're doing, everybody. Exercise, vitamin D, vitamin C. And again, my friends, Big Pharma. Going back to Big Pharma for a moment, okay? They have a 30% increase in their R&D, but a 30% decrease in their allowances. So again, the industry is burning. For example, for every dollar they used to spend, they get 10 cents back, 10% return. They're down, for every dollar now they spend, they're down to a penny, 1.17%. So the industry is crashing, the drug industry.
Down with Big Pharma.
Yes! Now, you know, some drugs, pain management drugs on occasion, other drugs can be good. But we know there's a lot of natural remedies. You guys are doing a lot of that, right? Again, vitamin D, you don't want corrupt vaccine companies controlling your bloodstream. That's why we're never going to have a vaccine passport. That's the great news. Woo!
Yes.
My friends, we're not going to allow it in Canada. Don't buy into the PSYOP. Don't buy into the fear porn, right? It's because we have millions of Truth Freedom Health warriors all across Canada. Many don't even show up because, you know, there's a lot of amazing immigrants that are afraid, apparently, that they're going to send back to their other country. Am I right? But they support us.
Yes.
Okay? I have a friend, for example, Derek. He's Polish, my friend. I have a lot of great Polish friends. And he told me, maybe you want to tell the audience, he understands we have about 100,000 Polish people just in the GTA. And of course, other immigrants from amazing countries, right? So let's try and inspire them to come to our rallies and protests. Okay? So, my friends, once again, back to Big Pharma. When the FDA, you know the FDA, right?
Yeah.
Well, the FDA are pro-Big Pharma, right?
Yeah.
But the FDA, they had to put regulations in. And when they did, that put them in a real conundrum, the Big Pharma, the pharmaceutical drug industry. And so, like I said, the drug industry, everybody, it starts with these singular molecule drugs. These are drugs that do not appear in nature, molecules, okay? There's about 30 to 35,000, but they can't find any more. And they've exhausted trying to find combinations of drugs. And like I said before, everybody, and Dr. Shiva will show you, it's about precision, personalization, and we don't have to talk about we don't have to talk about Kovacs. He says, get out of there and talk about how to use the immune system and understand a little bit about precision, personalization, that for every drug, right, every medicine, it reacts differently to different people. Like you said, again, I would be honored if I could get nurses maybe to want to listen to a little about the information and come on over to Dr. Shiva as well, right? And again, a lot of nurses do a fantastic job. I feel it's so refreshing to have two family members that are nurses, I'll tell you. And they're doing helping the older and the sick people out there, you know? And thank you, everybody. One moment, and I'm going to I'll let you speak. When you can
About
speak.
the nurses, about the nurses.
I just want, before I forget, I want to thank you, everybody, like I said before, that you're trying to educate others. You're trying to working on laying the foundation to free people from control, from fear, and from the certitude and bondage of slavery. I am correct, am I not?
Yes!
Thank you, everybody, and that's why we're winning. Go ahead, Matt.
I just want to say that the mainstream media is reporting that everybody who's in ICUs are the unvaccinated. But I have a friend who's an ICU nurse, and she has friends that are ICU nurses, and they say everybody in the ICUs are actually the vaccinated. I'd like to know if there's any nurses here who can corroborate what the story is. Who's in the ICUs?
Thank you, man. Awesome.
Maybe next time we can come up with some information on
Absolutely.
that.
Now, a man just handed me, it looks like cases from Toronto. Can you say it again, please? please?
It's the government of Ontario's own data, own statistics.
Government of Ontario owns statistics.
City of Toronto.
City of Toronto,
As of yesterday.
showing the cases are going down, right? Or whatever.
It's almost fallen off the chart.
Exactly. So, but you know what? The great news is, everybody, ever since the pandemic, right? Call it what you will. We know that cases, any nurse that is not beholden to Big Pharma will tell you, cases mean nothing. Right? For over 99%, cases mean nothing. They try to manipulate what a case is. And I'll give you an example, everybody. Like right here. In Israel, remember I talked about Israel? And we know those people, and thank God the kids got to celebrate. They took their masks off after all because the PSYOP, everybody got vaccinated, so many people, so the kids can finally take off their face diapers off their face. But isn't that wonderful, right? But here's the real reality too, everybody. Dr. Shiva shows you, for every country that was jabbed, almost every single country, except Israel and a few other ones, maybe 2 or 3, that when you get jabbed, the cases go up. Isn't that interesting? This yellow line, for example, you can take it to the bank. That's the jabs. Now the blue line is the cases. But it'll show you and tell you, don't trust the blue line. They manipulate, right, the cases, okay? So, my point is, everybody, but we're going to win. We're going to win this battle. But they're going to try to use Israel, as Dr. Shiva tells you, as the poster child to make you think, oh, see? We got 60-70% jabbed and the cases went down. But it's all horseshit. We know that. Excuse my language, right? That's the good news. Now, one more thing about Pfizer, everybody, and maybe I'll wrap it up. Did you know that Pfizer, to the India government's credit, and I wish Canada would they could learn something or two from the Modi government. They turned down Pfizer 2 times. They turned them down in December. They said, no, we want proper testing, right? They knew their people have been used as slaves. Same with Africa, the Philippines, Afghanistan, with very dangerous vaccines over the years, right?
Yes.
But the Modi government turned Pfizer down. Pfizer pulled out their application there for February, but they went back when did they come back? A few months later, I think in June, they went back. And they tried to manipulate the Indian government. They said, we'll give you some drugs if you allow us to, put out the vaccines, right? And indemnify us from lawsuits. The Indian government gave them 2 no's. But I was talking to Dr. Shiva and her team. And guess what? Unfortunately, I was always wondering what would happen to Pfizer if they never got the Indian market expansion. Because that's a lot of money for them, right? Well, unfortunately, Pfizer, they paid off, it looks like, as Dr. Shiva tells you, just like here in Canada a lot, they paid off a health official, big time, bribed them, right? This is what happens. But it's we the people, in the end, my friends, Chris Sky was correct. I don't always agree with Chris Sky. We'll talk more about him in the future. But he was correct, saying that the last card we know is the vaccine passport, right? But they're going to fail. And in Manitoba, my friends, there's a lot of tyranny, as we know, with that premier in Manitoba, apparently, right?
Brian Palliser.
Because there's a lot of pharmaceutical drug companies in Manitoba, too. So we got to keep an eye on that. A woman did a great job on a video on that, right? Yes. But overall in Canada, and again, this speech is dedicated to every province, every Canadian citizen, particularly ones like you guys that are trying to sway the hearts and minds of people. It's dedicated to all our military, okay? Do you guys support our Canadian Armed Forces, by the way?
Yes!
Awesome. Thank you. And thank you so much for listening to me on vaccines. So Pfizer, my friends, they did get into India. They'll have billions of doses out. But let's educate people here in Canada, because Pfizer, Big Pharma, my friends, they're playing the long game, right? They say they're going to be here until 2024, as I said earlier. Okay? But we are going to expose them, my friends, respectfully and firmly. Like I said, even with some of our politicians, we can do it respectful for the most part, even though I get carried away at times, but we can do it firm. If we expose, and we expose the dirty players, that's how we'll eventually eventually, my friends, we will grow a culture and society to sustain ethical leadership. I always said, my friends, we're living in a remarkable, exciting, privileged era. Do you agree?
Yes.
We're living through the greatest transformation and the greatest paradigm shift of human thinking and the greatest paradigm shift of science. I'm sure Dr. Shiva would agree with that, right? We're living through the greatest renaissance of scientific ideas and discovery. We are on the cusp right now in Canada and many places around the world. We are on the cusp of the greatest positive, transformative change I think the world has ever seen. Would you agree?
Yes.
But one of the sacrifices, let's realize it, my friends, and understand, right? Just one of the sacrifices is for freedom is hypervigilance, eternal vigilance. Am I right?
Yes.
And so I thank you again, everybody. Okay? And you know, finally, I want to end on this, my friends. I said it before. Hi, Rob. Keep smiling, my friend. Gershaw made a quote. He said, when you make a decision, Providence moves with you. And in my own words, when you put your intention to the world, right? A positive intention, you focus it, you amplify it, and resistance manifests itself in many different ways and is directly proportional to the magnitude of the change that you want to make. So let's multiply the fires of resistance, my friends, in a way that can't suppress all of us. I could
Yes.
talk more on vaccines, but we'll save it for another day. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for being here, everybody, and fighting the good fight. Pardon?
We think Bill Gates bought the Africans didn't charge for laptops. They buy Americans with a fucking ice cream sandwich.
Yes. Oh, yeah. To end on that note, my friends, thank you, Tommy. We will expose Bill Gates more, my friends.
Oh, yeah.
Bill Gates, my friends. Normally I would bring a picture of him.
We all know what he looks
again,
like.
Thank you.
That awful haircut.
Can you find Bill Gates, please? If you don't mind the guy. I should pay him money.
According to the words of the people who are propagating.
Well, we're going to end this, my friends. Bill Gates, we know we put out a lot of dangerous vaccines over the years, right?
Yes.
Oh, look at this. Walter is a hero as well. You guys are all heroes. Look at that. Thank you. Just say no to the prick. So we know the real truth, right? Let's educate other people. And again, my friends, you know, remember I talked about resistance?
Yes.
This is the free world versus elements of the Central Intelligence Agency as well, my friends, the CIA. Not all of them are bad, but we know it's a extra constitutional agency. There's some real good people talking about it, showing their courage. So this is the free world, my friends. And again, it goes back to you guys. Thank you for showing your brilliant minds, for showing and spreading peace and love. And we are going to have hard, powerful, peaceful, determined action. That's what we do, is it not?
Yes.
That's why when you guys march, we're going to show again hard, powerful, peaceful, determined action. Thank you so much, everybody. Thanks to my Facebook audience for listening. I appreciate it, and anybody else. Thank you for being here, everybody. Let's have a great day. Anybody want to come up and talk, or you guys want to march now? Let's do it. Thank you so much.
Grandchildren and future generations will remember us.
Thank you.
Should I keep filming or stop? Thank you. Thank you.
Was this it?
Thanks for listening, everybody.
Was this it?
Oh, yeah, that was Pfizer. There's Pfizer. This man is awesome. Thank you. There's the vaccine company I was trying to show, my friends. But we're going after him. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you, Tommy. Tommy, you're amazing, buddy. Great. Another Truth, Freedom, Health warrior filming me today and filming other people. Fantastic. Thanks for listening, everybody. I got to go. It's Jason, Cosmic Truth Authority. Check me out. I hope you share this speech and video. Appreciate it. I need all the support I can get.